podcast has hit the road. We are in Portland. I am here with my buddy Nick. Thanks for joining the podcast, Nick.
Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate it. We're on these high chairs, so I'm getting kind of accustomed to them. But I'm already liking the setup more than mine, so thanks for kind of outdoing me on that with the background picture. I really like this. Do you know what this mountainscape is?
It is in Utah, I believe.
Okay.
It's one of those national parks there. I figured get a picture of somewhere I haven't been before.
Oh, that's a good call.
It's
give you something to kind of strive for a little bit.
Yeah, a little wanderlust.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I figured we'd give like the people a little bit of background of how we met, maybe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just start out kind of, we met back in our college days, long time ago, you know. Now it's been, well, how long has it? When did we meet? Do you know what year we met?
Let's see. I was a sophomore in college, so that would have been 2014.
Okay.
2014, 2015, somewhere around there. Probably 2015. I think it was second
or
half
late
of the
2014.
Year. Yeah, I think you're right.
2014, 2015. So
5 years.
Yeah.
Just about.
That's crazy. Half a decade, dude.
Wow. Congrats, man. Happy anniversary.
And that's kind of like the vibe I'm going here for this podcast. Kind of just like explaining our relationship and just like how far it's come and stuff.
Just really cementing what we have.
Yeah. So the way we met all started from just a nice wholesome pickup game of basketball in a church gym. The way I think I kind of seeked him out a little bit. I saw, what got my attention was your clean white Air Max 90s just on the gym floor. And so I went up to him. We were shooting for teams. I go up right behind him. You remember this?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm like, dude, I like your shoes, man. Those are really sick. And I think I probably said, I'm like, those are clean Air Max 90s, all white. And you're just like, oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Did you know from that moment, like, this was going to be a long-lasting relationship? Or
I was surprisingly hyped about it, honestly.
Yeah.
It was like the first,
because at that time, you were still kind of the new guy.
Yeah. Also new to sneakers, which Christian, unfortunately, got me, way into.
Yeah. Well, I myself you're always going to be into them once you're into them once, but I've faded out since then a lot. College years were heavy sneakerhead.
Yeah, Christian heavily influenced me, and it led to some rough days for my bank account there.
Yeah, it adds up quick, and it takes a lot out, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of knew that we were meant to be kind of guarding each other. Just kind of, I don't want to say because of our athleticism, because Nick's just overall an athletic guy, but the basketball skills weren't all there, not completely.
No, going into church basketball, I thought that, okay, I played middle school basketball, I should be fine. You know, it shouldn't be that competitive. And half the guys played college basketball. The other ones were the role players were all state. Yeah. 1A, whatever.
Yeah.
And so Christian and I, after about a game or two, were we should probably be guarding each other.
Yeah. And from there on out, literally every week following that week, we would actually make sure we were on opposite teams. Yeah. In hopes that we could just guard each other. Yeah. And just stay out on 3-point line.
I feel like when we made shots, if one of us made it, we'd be like, oh, nice, dude.
Dude, I remember that. We would actually, because then that's when we were starting to really get to know each other. Yeah. And you were following, because we played basketball a lot. All our crew of boys. But, yeah, we'd always, kind of congratulate each other. Nice shot, dude. That's a nice three.
Yeah. We weren't contesting each other's shots too hard. That was the other nice thing, because you play anybody else and you got to be boxing out, and we're
we were playing a game in itself with each other, kind of almost helping each other out, hoping that we'd make the shot, but then on the other end try to pitch up a three as well. Yeah, it's pretty much exclusive staying outside the arc though, shooting.
Yeah, a lot of no dribbling, pass it, or you catch the pass it. Yeah. Try not to get roasted by your teammates.
Yeah. Every once in a while, we'd heat up, and that's
Yeah.
not a lie.
Yeah, it's true.
I remember this one time Jake was just dishing passes to me because I was hot. I was just sinking that whole game. It only lasted a game, not a night, but I was just putting him down. And he's like, dude, you're really good at shooting threes. And this kid was one of the better players. And I was stoked about that. Shout out to Jake. Thanks, man. Thanks for the assist.
What up, Jake?
But yeah, we have some pretty wild stories because we live right on U of O campus for 3 years, 2 years together as like roommates. 2 years in a house full of guys, like almost, close to like 30 guys, somewhere around there. And then the third year, it was you, myself, and my now roomie, Jonathan. So that was sick. I'm just going to jump right to this story, though, because it just popped in my head.
Dude, go for it. I'm excited for this.
But the time where, and you feel free to add to this, please. But the time where we were heading up to our buddy Joe's house, they live out, I'm not going to say wilderness, but, they have like a farm.
Yeah. We're going to do some skiing, getting the ski stuff.
Getting the ski stuff. We're going to hit the slopes that following weekend. And we were headed up, and we were starting to take like kind of an off-road, well, not an off-road. This keeps falling on me. Hold on. Okay, so we had just turned off, and we see this car in front of us. Like, we thought it looked like he had just like, I think it was like a pickup.
Yeah.
And it looked like he had just like, there's this lady outside of the pickup, and she was like freaking out. I don't know. She's being all spastic.
Yeah, and the guy's like window was down.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the girl's like yelling at the guy.
Yeah.
And then the guy just takes off.
Yeah, he just peels out. Like, and there was 5 of us in the car. So we're like, dang, this dude just left his girl behind.
Yeah.
And this is like a dark road.
Yeah, out in the country.
Yeah, it's out in the country at this point. And so it's like super sketch.
Like 11 at night or something like that.
Yeah, it was dark out. And so we drive past where it happened, and then she's just
then she starts running at us.
Yeah. We drive past her, and she starts jogging after our car. We're like, at this point,
so our driver just floors it.
Yeah, we're spooked.
Like, what?
We're like,
all 5 of us were just freaked out by this like one girl.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
And so we're like, we're getting out of here. So we were over it, and I think we all kind of just started thinking, we're like, well, like maybe we should turn around.
Yeah, maybe she's in trouble.
Like, this girl is like in trouble. This guy, I mean, I don't know what their relationship is, but obviously they just got in a fight, and it's like, it'd be weird. We weren't gonna pick her up in our car, first of all, because it was full, but then also we just weren't about that life. But we were gonna go and check on her because it was kind of, she just would have been all on herself, by herself, out in the dark.
Out in the woods, yeah.
So we're like, dude, Daniel, you gotta turn around, dude. So Daniel turns around, as our buddy driving, and we turn around, and we turn around, and then we kind of make a U-E, and she's still there. Oh, I forgot to mention a part where when we first saw them, the guy was peeling out. She had a water bottle, and she was like throwing it at the car, like water at the car. We're like, what? So that's why we thought they were in like a fight, like a relationship. I don't know. It was weird. That wasn't that important of a detail, but
it was a weird situation. Middle of the night, your headlights and it's just like fight in the middle of like a 45-mile-an-hour road. Just stopped. Like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and so we turn back around, loop back, and then she's there, and she comes up to our window.
As soon as she sees us, she starts sprinting up to our car.
Oh yeah,
it was insane.
And we're like, dude,
she was pretty quick.
She's in serious trouble. She was fast.
Yeah.
And then
she's
what
like
happened?
Maybe like late 20s or so.
Yeah, late 20s.
Yeah.
You tell the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's booking it towards us, and like we went from being like scared, and then we're like, there's 5 of us guys, we should be fine. It's one girl. As soon as we see her booking it towards us, we're like, oh crap, it's not good. Yeah. We stopped the car, and Christian was in the passenger seat. She came up to your window, right?
Yeah. No, I was in the back seat.
Oh,
Joe was in the passenger seat.
That's right. Yeah, so
but I was on the passenger's side.
That's right. Yeah, so our buddy Joe rolls down his window like that much.
Cracks it, because at this point we're a little skeptic on what's about to happen.
And she just about like leans her head in.
Yeah.
And it was like, do you guys have a lighter?
Yeah. And at that point, we were all like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
yeah, everyone was like pretty like high tension, and as
she's
soon
a
as she
full-blown
says that,
tweaker.
yeah,
But we didn't know that.
We couldn't tell like because it was dark until
But right
she
when
was
you got
literally had her face inside of our car.
Literally.
Yeah, yeah, and she's like, "Do you have a lighter?"
Yeah,
And
just spastic.
literally
I mean,
everyone
she
at
was
the
high.
same time was like, "What? No!"
Yeah.
Like
Everybody's like, "No," and we're like,
and then someone was like, "Get out of here!"
"Yeah."
And then
Wait. But don't forget the part where like she like wasn't leaving. We were starting to drive, and she was kind of like walking with our car. Joe starts rolling up the window like on her.
Yeah. Well, then she reaches her hand inside the car and goes,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm Nikki."
Yeah.
We're just like,
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when everyone's like, "Get out of here."
Yeah, we're like, okay.
Tweaker. Yeah. So obviously, I think she just stopped that car for like trying to get
for the same
drugs
thing.
or light or whatever.
We're like, no wonder that guy peeled out. But yeah, so Joe starts rolling up the window on her. She like pulls her head out. It looks like she was about to get stuck in in the window.
Everyone, it was like level 10 panic in our car.
Oh my God,
It was like it was pretty intense.
Yeah. And then we start driving away. Finally, she got out, and
as soon as we peel away, she just starts sprinting.
she peels out.
Yeah, she
on
just
foot.
starts sprinting towards like the edge of the road. We're on a country road. There's like a guardrail,
In like a ditch.
just a straight drop off.
Yep.
Like that drop off.
It went down to a river, yeah.
And it went down to a river. I don't know how many feet down to the river, like 70, 80 feet down.
Yeah.
Like it's far
It's far.
and steep. And
She just dips.
she just starts sprinting straight for that, pitch black. And we're all looking back as we're driving away. And she hurdles the guardrail, just full sprint, hurdles the guardrail just into the abyss.
Like puts one hand on it, both feet just go over, just
And
gone,
it's just gone.
into the dark. Full sprint, just
Yeah.
boom.
It was the most insane.
And we were
There's
all
no
looking
way.
back, obviously. We drive and we see it. We're like, what?
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. There's no way that ended fine.
No.
That jump.
I know. But that's kind of what you get when you drive out on those country roads sometimes. You never know what kind of interesting, cracked out individuals you might meet.
It's pretty wild.
But we wish her the best. Nikki, if you're watching this, we hope you found that lighter from someone on the river. You never know.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so that's one story. What other sketchy stories did we have
Oh man.
from when we lived together? Since I guess that's
Honestly,
kind of the
a lot of
topic
them.
now.
We got that was pretty funny that one time. We took a late night stroll to Dairy Queen. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we were like, it was right at closing time. I don't remember if it was midnight or whatever time they closed. And then there was that homeless guy that was like banging on the door to get in.
Oh, into Dairy Queen.
Yeah, in Dairy Queen. But
Yeah.
then they locked us in. Remember that? They locked us in to keep that guy
Yeah,
out.
the
but
Dairy
then we
Queen
couldn't
employees
leave.
lock in everyone. There wasn't a lot of people who was late, but everyone who was dining in
I
there.
think to keep out this homeless guy that was
Yeah.
banging on the door and yelling. But then like we were just locked in Dairy Queen at closing time. And we're like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
that
I
was
guess we'll
so-
just stay here till you guys let us out.
Yeah.
Locked down at
He was
PQ.
super pissed and super sketch.
Yeah.
And we were just I just remember cracking up because it was such a weird
It was
moment.
weird. And the guy obviously didn't like that. And
No.
he wanted to have a word with us when we were leaving. And we
Mm-hmm.
kind of just had to book it out of there.
And he did.
Yeah, he
remember?
started following us.
So he started following us, and we go down. We started all heading down the sidewalk. I don't know. That was a pretty big group that time. There's probably like 8 of us in the crew at that point. And we started walking down the sidewalk, and then he's following us. He's like after our group of guys for whatever reason. There's other people in the restaurant, but
Yeah. I think, weren't we right next to the door
Yeah.
when he was trying to get in?
Yeah.
And then we didn't let him. I mean, the door's locked, so we couldn't
Yeah.
really let him in, but yeah.
yeah. And then I remember a few of us had to dip in between like the two buildings, that big crack that went like all the way down.
Yeah, there was like a 1 foot gap in between two, like an apartment complex and like a business complex.
Yeah.
And there's like a foot long alley.
Literally,
You could go from
you
like
had
the
to shimmy.
street into an alley. It was like 30 yards long. But we lost him. I'm taking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he was willing to take the risk of walking down that alley. But yeah, we lost him and we were good to go. But super sketch at the time.
Yeah, it
Super
was.
sketch.
It was.
But it was funny.
Yeah.
Another sketchy time, when we were finally in our apartment. When we were in our apartment, and I think at the time we all had our girlfriends over, and we were all just hanging out, and we all hear at the same time two loud gunshots
Yeah.
right in front of our house, and then peel out of a car heading out, and we're like, oh my gosh. I remember I was going piss. I was going pee at the time, and I heard it, and it was like, that's like the last thing you really want to be doing when you hear gunshots. It's just like going to the restroom, because you feel pretty helpless. So I remember like getting out there as fast as I could, and you guys were already like in the hallways, like looking at me like, what was, did you hear that?
Everyone was like in the hallway, and
I heard it, but I just didn't imagine. It sounded like gunshots, but I'm like, no, it had to have been like some kids shooting off bottle rockets.
Yeah. And then the girls kind of just made a run for the front door and went outside. Yeah. And we're like, why? Yeah. Why are we going outside? This is like a terrible idea.
And so then we did, though. Yeah. And all of us go outside, and like me, you, and John were just like headed down our alleyway looking.
That was the weirdest thing too. I don't know if you remember that, but like when we went down the alley, we were like the only people really walking in the alley. Yeah. But you look, and there was like an apartment building right next to us.
Every time you
like
keep walking, doors would be open.
Every single like door and window was open with like people there.
Yeah.
And they're just like looking at us.
But we were the only ones walking.
Yeah. And they're just like, wow, good luck, soldier. You know.
Honestly, and I remember we've talked about this, but we were fully prepared to. Unfortunately, we didn't want to, but we were fully prepared to see just a body just laying there.
Yeah, because for people that don't know, we were in this alley, and there's like a kind of a main road right here, and it sounded like the shots were on the road, but coming from the alley, we couldn't see, and so we were like walking down the alley, like with our neighbors basically giving us the good luck look. Yeah, they were walking down.
Yeah, literally.
And we get down to the end of the
I don't know
alley.
why we were so eager.
And we like to like look around the corner, and like. We talked about. I thought that we were gonna see someone there.
I thought for sure. It was really scary. That's why I was like I was kind of just like wanting the girls to stay back, because I'm like, well, first of all, because there was just shots, but then also I'm like, I don't want anybody to really have to witness this. Yeah. But also like we had to see it if it was gonna be there.
Probably not smart if they like came back. Obviously they're in a car. So like,
oh, I know.
Yeah, but
we didn't see a body.
Hey, somebody had to be the first one there to help if something happened.
I know, and we were that day.
Yeah. Thank goodness no one got hit that we heard of. We don't. Yeah, didn't sound like it.
Yeah, we were looking all night, and like the next couple of days on like the police forum scanners or whatever. Yeah. And nothing. I don't even know if anything was reported for it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, just live your life like usual on U of O campus. That's the type of stuff that happens. Yeah.
That was crazy. There was I don't know if you remember. There was like a carjacking at gunpoint. Remember? Same street.
Yeah.
Like a month
I forgot
later.
about that, dude.
Yeah. It happened. I had like class at like 3.
Yeah.
So I leave at like 2:45 or whatever, and then it happened at like 3:30. Yeah. And then I got back at like 4. And I'm like, dang, like that happened like
right when you were walking.
Like after I walked, and then
yeah.
Or in between. It's super weird.
Yeah, it's odd. And like our neighbor's car got totally shattered and broken into, and we all parked our 3 cars out right in front of our apartment, and like literally just right next to our cars, their car just got shattered, broken in. Obviously we never left anything in our cars because we were smart enough at the time to know better, but I'm figuring that they left something in there that someone saw and just went for it. Yeah. And I don't think they ever repaired it. I think it was kind of busted for the rest of the school year.
Yeah, it's rough. And she had the same car as me. So I was like, well, I'm glad it wasn't me.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, crazy.
Dude, do you remember our upstairs neighbors?
Yeah, they hated us.
It did not go great.
Well, actually, we kind of hated them more.
Yeah.
They were just super loud. Like, they would be loud at like the worst times. Yeah. Like, we'd be loud like on like Fridays and Saturday nights, maybe occasionally, not like every weekend. We'd have friends over and stuff, but they would be loud on like, it would be like a Tuesday night. They'd come home with like a little group of people, just loud as all heck, and they'd just be stomping, and like I swear their main stomp zone was right above my room. And so like one night there was a couple of nights. One of the nights me and John, I think you were gone.
Yeah.
Me and John had to go we were already in bed. We both get out of bed, had to go marching up there. And like when we would get in bed, it would not be early by any means. Like we were going to bed at like, I don't know, 2 and 3 a.m. Obviously a.m. So me and John go like marching up there and like talk to him and stuff. We're like, hey guys, like we're not trying to be jerks or anything, but it's like it's a school night and like super late. Like if they were allowed on the weekends, obviously like we would not care. Like that's so normal. But yeah, super. So we talked to him. They were pretty chill about it. Actually, the first guy that opened up the door was like super drunk and like he was like ready to just talk. And but then like some of the girls, I think it was like 2 girls and a guy who lived up there or something. Remember that? Or like 2 guys and a girl, something like that.
Yeah, they used to. I remember right over my room, I could like hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
They like got into some pretty big like arguments.
Yeah. Oh, the one girl was crazy.
Yeah. There was like a lot of screaming one time, and I could hear what they're saying. This girl is like accusing them of doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she like packed up her stuff, and that was it.
She never came back.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, we talked to him that night, and then that next morning they had like a 6-pack of like beer at our front doorway, and it was like really gross beer, and John just took it and threw it away. Which I don't get because like in college,
you take what you can get.
Usually you just want to take that, but
you
we were
guys
so
talked to
pissed
him,
at him.
right?
We're like, nah, screw it.
Didn't you talk to him, but they like didn't stop or something like
that?
Yeah.
Well, and then the other night that was horrible. It was just you and me at home.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were being, I always just got the brunt of it, I guess, but they were being so loud right on top of my room. And I did the old thing. I took my baseball bat and got on my bed, and I pounded that ceiling so hard. It was so many times too. I took the football and it would just throw it and just slam it against the ceiling. But yeah, it wasn't that effective. And we would never. This is making it sound lame, kind of, but this is not typically something we would do because usually we're kind of on the other end of it, and so we like understand it. But these guys were just weird.
It was like school nights, like 4 a.m. It was just
weird.
And you guys were working like super early. Yeah.
It's just weird the times they decided to do it.
Yeah, they were pretty nice though, like outside the apartment.
Yeah,
so I think our relationship was like it didn't get too hostile, but there was a few moments where I was kind of worried that like
it was weird. It just seemed so fake. It was like a very fake relationship we had with them, because like every time we'd see him, like in the mornings, like when we'd go to class and stuff, we'd be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
But then at night, it's like all hell would break loose.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they have stories of us being pretty rambunctious as well. So
yeah, especially some of the video games, and they just hear like
yelling. Whether it be having friends over or especially video games, just letting out a loud belt.
Yeah.
I mean, the things we must have said, just we've joked about this, like middle of the night, it's probably just quiet because we're just gaming, and then something happens in the game, and just yelling out some sort of profanity really loud. Just at the top of our lungs, and then just like waking up in bed. Yeah, but it's all good. We're even, and everything has been forgiven. I wish them the best of luck wherever they are now on their journey.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for lighting the candle at the beginning of this.
Dude, no problem. Christian took me to the what store was this at again? Bath and Body Works.
Yes.
Yeah, Christian took me to the sale right around Christmas time, and it was
half off.
It's pretty magical. I'm not gonna lie. The Christmas spirit was so alive in there. There's so many people that were like just hyped for the candles.
Yeah, those
pretty cool.
Most of those workers are super nice.
Yeah, I would definitely go back next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been nursing this baby.
I know. I can't believe you still have that, man.
Left. Yeah, saving it for special occasions.
Yeah, I got a good handful of candles. It's just awesome. If you guys have never if you're not a big candle person, if you're like a dude watching this right now, or a gal, it doesn't matter. And if you're not big into candles, I strongly encourage you to change that. it will open up your eyes to a whole nother world. It can make your mood change for the better every time. And I'd really invest in the holiday season candles. Those are the best. They smell great. But that's probably going to do it for the pod. For now, I'm going to be up in Portland for the next couple of days, so I think we're going to rip off a few of these.
Yeah.
And just have more to talk about. But thanks for watching. I totally forgot to mention in the beginning. I'm so bad at intros, but I picked out a new name for the pod. I think I'm going to be rolling with it. I've been taking my time with the pod name. But the new name of the pod is going to be the All We Got podcast. Yeah, there you go. That's how we're going to end it, with the new name. So that's, I'm telling you right now. So I'm pretty stoked that's what we're going to be rolling with. And you'll be able to find it by looking that up under YouTube. And hopefully soon here we're going to be getting it on iTunes. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, keep it cool.